My name is Austin, and today we're going to be reviewing Stranger Things Season 4. I had an absolute blast with this season. I think it is by far my favorite season yet. Yes, that includes Season 1. I do want to say that we will be discussing in-depth spoilers, so if you have not seen the show yet, I highly recommend you go check it out and come back soon. Now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into Stranger Things Season 4. The foreshadowing has to be one of my favorite elements of Season 4.
Buckle up.
Like, this is really gonna save me if we crash.
The use of foreshadowing alone was just so phenomenal, and it just makes the whole season feel that much more impactful. There are characters who come to stand out, such as Nancy. I think that she did a phenomenal job this season. Her character was much more dynamic than she has been in previous seasons of the show, and I think that they did such an amazing job. I think Eddie is also another phenomenal, well-written character. He is the standout death of the season, unfortunately. At first, I really wasn't a huge fan of his death scene. I thought, okay, they're just killing off another newly introduced lovable character, but I think it actually fits in with the overall theme of the show, which is tragedy. He's so nice to everyone. He's actually really a sweet guy, and yet the whole town sees him as nothing but a villain. And by the end of the show, they're happy that he died because they saw him as a villain and they blame him for everything that happens at the end of the show. But my gosh, was Eddie just a standout character. He had this amazing scene in the Upside Down where he's just rocking out, drawing the Demobats away from Vecna. The visuals alone were so amazing. The cinematographer of the show did such an amazing job. If I had to give it a word, I would say creamy. I don't know. It was such smooth cinematography. Speaking of tragedy, I think tragedy was the backbone of season 4, and that's why it was a lot darker than the previous seasons. And a lot of that really has to do with the character of Max. And holy cow, Sadie Sink went all in with this character, but she absolutely nailed it. Every episode where Max has like a really prominent scene, she just makes that episode so much better for me. And by the end of the show, she really does prove to be such a tragic character because she reveals to the audience how she's feeling about Billy, how she's feeling about herself, and where she wants to be. And it's really dark. I think that the character Max really displays depression in a really good, realistic way, while also being entertaining, separating yourself from your friends, lying awake at night, thinking about the past, and coming to terms with that. Tragedy throughout the show really does take form in all shapes and sizes, and I think Will is also kind of another character affected by this, despite his lack of screen time and his really poorly written character, not only this season, for really like the past 3 seasons. I mean, come on, what are you guys doing with Will? I mean, he really wants to tell Mike something, and I think we all know what that is. Personally, I believe that there is a romantic connection somewhere between Will and Mike. Jonathan, I think that he's a character who might actually know about Will's situation, but he's not going to force him to say anything about it. Speaking of the two brothers, I think that they had probably the weakest dynamic this season. In fact, the storytellers here forgot about the continuity of Will's birthday.
Do you know what March 22nd is? It's your birthday.
Mike and Eleven go out on a date and third wheel Will on his birthday. Why are the characters treating him like this on his birthday? That doesn't make sense. The other group that I wasn't really too fond of included the adults, which was Joyce, Murray, we got Hopper stuck in a prison. That whole plot line, it just felt a little bit undercooked for me. I feel like it could have had a lot more of an impact on the overall plot. The one thing that I really did enjoy about that plot line was the fact that Hopper and Joyce reconnected. They also had this really adult-like kiss scene, and I was surprised to see on Stranger Things. I'm like, this is getting a little steamy. I really have to say that the Hawkins group, I think that that was my favorite part of the show. That's where like the main storyline took place. That's where all the character development happened between Eddie, Dustin, Steve, even Nancy. I think Nancy got a whole ton of character development this season, as I previously mentioned. Nancy and Steve. I really don't know how to feel about these two this season because a lot was really built up. Is this going to go anywhere? There's even this scene where Steve and Nancy are talking inside of a car and discussing their future, and Steve comes out and admits, I see you in that future. Maybe if we met now, things would have been different.
You don't love me?
It's bullshit.
And I have to say, I totally agree. Both Steve and Nancy are way different characters from when they first broke up in season 2. Really, at this point, I just really want the character of Steve to be happy. I want him to end up with the person that he wants to be with, even if I don't fully agree with it, because the whole Jonathan situation, I don't even know what's going on there, because at one point Jonathan's like, I think I want to break up with her. And then he comes back to Hawkins. He's like, are we okay? Nancy, are we good? I officially think that Dustin is like the main child character of the whole group. It used to be Mike in season 1, and then throughout like the last few seasons, Mike has just been kind of like on the back burner. The filmmakers really try to push that Mike is still the heart of the show, but he isn't. The heart of the show is with Max. It's with Dustin a lot. A lot of it is with Dustin because Dustin has the connections to everyone. Dustin was even the one to convince Eddie that Steve is not a total bad guy. The villain this season is set up to be there from like the start. But also, if you think about it too hard, it doesn't really make sense at the same time. He really pulled off like those Freddy Krueger vibes really well. He forced a lot of tense situations to happen. And honestly, like a lot of it had to do with the sound design. Sound design around Vecna was amazing. He caused the Hawkins group to go through this whole mystery. What is causing all this insane stuff in Hawkins to happen right now? And it all leads back to Vecna. We also have like these smaller human villain characters. The basketball team, while like almost cartoonishly evil to a point, I can also kind of understand like how they're set up to be as crazy as they are. By the end of the show, my God, these guys are crazy.
You shut your mouth, I'll break your arms. You hear me, little shit?
Causing that whole Max situation at the end to happen. Justice for Max, that's all I'm gonna say. Honestly, I really wasn't expecting a whole lot out of season 4 after seeing seasons 2 and 3, but season 4, it's just so good. And it's got me so excited for season 5. I think season 5 is being set up to be the last season. But yeah, as far as things that I really want to happen in season 5, well, first priority, Steve. I want him to be happy. I also really want Will and Jonathan to have a more critical role this time around because they were set up very well in season 1 to be like the main characters. And then they're just kind of gone. There is so much that they can do with the character of Will just to fill up the runtime of season 5 alone. Another thing that I really want to see out of season 5 is consequences. I don't need a big death to be a consequence, but maybe like just something that's irreversible. I don't think we need a major death as a consequence. I really did think Steve was going to bite the bullet this season.
Because calling all of Eddie's friends is an emergency?
Correct.
Do you want me to strangle him, or do you want to do that?
We could take turns.
I really thought that he was going to be set up to have like a tragic love story / death kind of thing. Thankfully, though, that did not happen. Elle leaving her training early, it's so parallel to Star Wars where Luke leaves his training early to go save his friends.
This is not our choice. We agreed this was not going to be a prison. We'll show her what this is, what we can offer, and then it is her choice whether she wants to stay or go. Well, you may not agree with it, but here she is, standing before us, making a choice.
Netflix, also, please make this show like weekly or something, please. The wait between volume 1 and volume 2 built up so much tension. Stranger Things season 4, it was such an incredible ride. I loved it from start to finish. The filmmaking, so good. The characters, the acting, the foreshadowing. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So go, if you have not seen it, or if maybe you've fallen off Stranger Things, I highly recommend it. It's worth getting back on the Stranger Things ride. Thank you guys so much for watching my review of Stranger Things season 4. I would love to sit here and talk more about it. The video would probably be like 2 or 3 hours in length. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like below or leave a comment. All that engagement really goes a long way in helping out the YouTube channel grow. If you guys do want to see more content from me, I highly recommend subscribing and turning on the notification bell. That way you guys know when I'm going to be releasing new videos. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.